Hello YouTubes, and welcome to another edition of The Casual Word. I'm your host Langley, and today we're going to jump back into our Quiet Time series. I know it's been a while since I brought you all a video. Just had a lot of projects going on, books, different things happening, all positive stuff. Keep on lookout on the website, casualword.com. Stay up on social media, Instagram at team_Griffin. Facebook at Langley Casual Word Shazer, trying to find out all the different events that have been happening. Just had a Pints and Pros, getting ready to go do some speaking engagements coming up, and we got some really cool things happening within the community and within the city of Bristol. So it's definitely not for lack of wanting to bring you guys some content. Just had a lot on my plate, but things are settling out now. So again, we're going to jump into our Quiet Time series. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to River Rock Climbing Gym out of Roanoke, Virginia. If you're ever in Roanoke and looking for a different experience, something new to try that'll challenge you physically and mentally, going out to the River Rock Climbing Gym and give it a shot. So thank you guys for the shirt, and I got a cool hat. As you guys know, the Quiet Time series, we started out with 2 books. Started out with Power Thoughts by Joyce Meyer. We have 365 Tao. I've added The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. This is about overcoming resistance, internal resistance or external resistance. I've also added a book that's interesting to read. It's a little bit complex. It took me a little while to understand the way it was laid out. This is the Hagakure. So this is the book of the samurai. This talks about the Bushido Code. It talks about their philosophy and their mentality and how they approach life, which I think is also very applicable to a lot of the ways that we can approach life. Those who know me know that I am very much a student of ancient philosophies in general, but specifically Asian philosophies, as well as some of the ancient Greek philosophies to go along with the way that I think and the way that I formulate my thoughts around society and community and giving back and whatnot. And most recently, I also added The Joy Adjustment by Joy Meyer. She is a local writer. She's got a business here in Bristol. And this book has, I'm only about 17, 18 pages in, and it's already been a phenomenal way to adjust your perspective, to change the way you think and to change the way that you approach your daily activities, so that you can have more joy and more peace. So I'm going to read some excerpts from all these books today. Some of them talk about choice, some talk about having internal peace, but they all relate to each other because it is very much a choice to have internal peace, and it's a choice to help, to give back, to be selfless, which also helps generate peace, which also helps generate joy, which also helps give good vibes or good energy, good aura to your community and to the world around you. So again, we're going to jump into bits of all these books and give you guys something to think about for your quiet time. So of course, we're going to start with the Power Thought Devotional. Calm in Adversity. Blessed is the man whom discipline and instruct, O Lord, and teach out of your law, that you may give him power to keep himself calm in the days of adversity. That's Psalm 94, verses 12 through 13. According to Exodus 13:7, when Pharaoh let the people go, God led them not by the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was nearer. There was a shorter route, but God took the Israelites the long, hard way on purpose, because they were not ready for the battles they would face. He continued to work with them during 40 days of wandering, waiting for them to get to the point where they could praise him in their adversity. God will continue dealing with us until we learn how to stay peaceful in the storm. Nothing shows our spiritual maturity more than staying calm when our circumstances are not calm. Stability is a sign of maturity, and the more mature we are, the more God can trust us with his power and blessings. And the power thought is, I have the power of God to remain calm in adversity. Okay, moving on to 365 Tao. This is a message for the youth. You've left home too soon, drunks frighten you. What good is a hermit's jewel? Young people need compassion and guidance, not obscure mysticism. Here are some guidelines for young people. Remember that you are always your own person. Do not surrender your mind, heart, or body to any person. Never compromise your dignity for any reason. Maintain your health with sound diet, hygiene, exercise, and clean living. Never engage in drugs or drinking. Money is never more important than your body and mind, but you must work and support yourself. Never depend on others for your livelihood. Choose your friends and living situation carefully, for they will influence you. Find a mentor you can trust, one who can answer your every question but not give up the responsibility for your own life. No one lives your life for you. A good education is always an asset. Emotions are transitory and are not a good way to make decisions. Every day you must make decisions. Everything you do will have irrevocable effects upon your life. Before you go down any path, consider carefully. Rivers very rarely reverse course. Know evil, but do not do evil yourself. Remember, there is a way out of the illusions of life. When you weary of the world, find someone who will show you Tao. Now, going to the War of Art. This section is called Resistance and Victimhood. Doctors estimate that 70 to 80% of their business is non-health related. People aren't sick, they're self-dramatizing. Sometimes the hardest part of a medical job is keeping a straight face. As Jerry Seinfeld observed of his 20 years of dating, that's a lot of acting fascinated. The acquisition of a condition lends significance to one's existence. An illness, a cross to bear. Some people go from condition to condition. They cure one and another pops up to take its place. The condition becomes a work of art itself, a shadow version of the real creative act the victim is avoiding by expending so much care cultivating this condition. A victim act is a form of passive aggression. It seeks to achieve gratification not by honest work or contribution made out of one's experience or insight or love, but by the manipulation of others through silent and not so silent threats. The victim compels others to come to his rescue or to behave as he wishes by holding them hostage to the prospect of his own further illness, meltdown, mental dissolution, or simply by threatening to make their lives so miserable that they do what he wants. Casting yourself as a victim is the antithesis of doing your work. Don't do it. If you're doing it, stop. Now read from the Hagakure. Once Master Shane Yuko was crossing over the Takao River. The bridge was being repaired and there was one large piling that could not be pulled up. Master Yuko dismounted, grasped the piling firmly, gave a shout, and began to pull it up. There was a tremendous sound, and although he was able to pull it up to his own height, it would go no further, and thereupon sank. After he returned home, he became sick and suddenly died. At the time of the funeral, at the temple, when the funeral procession crossed the Takao Bridge, the corpse leapt from the casket and fell into the river. A 16-year-old acolyte immediately jumped into the river and took hold of the dead body. Everyone ran down into the river and pulled the corpse. The head monk was very impressed and instructed the other acolytes to be guided by this young man. It said that he was later a very famous monk. And finally, we'll read from the Joy Adjustment. It takes a lot of courage to truly look at yourself and your feelings. It's not always the easiest thing to face, but the good news is to remember is that when we do the best that we can from our own level of awareness, we can transcend our troubles and pain. Your power and potential lie in working through your feelings. What you can do with your energy and intention allows you to shift your life in the direction you want. Many times the solutions we are seeking can be located in a new perspective. When we are struggling with things that are bothering us for long periods of time, we may find ourselves running around the rat wheel, moving but going nowhere. To change the energy and direction, it is helpful to take a step back so we can look at things from a new or different perspective. When we mull over the details and replay the scenarios in our head repeatedly, we can miss solutions and better options. When we can take a break from the momentum, we can gain some peace to approach the situation better. That little time can also give you an opportunity to shift your perspective. It also buys you a little time to choose your battles and reactions more wisely. It is not always helpful to lower your energy to your problems. In fact, you may actually drum up more of that unwanted energy to contend with. Perhaps there are situations worth a battle. It will still be helpful in your journey to gain some peace first, as you will need that to stand in your strength in the long haul. Especially if it truly helps spread more good energy in the world. Often though, when we step back, we may find the beating of that drum of certain problems really isn't benefiting anyone. I think we forget that it can be very peaceful, classy, and certainly okay to walk away from negative energy. So guys, there you have it from 5 different books. Today we talk about making the choice to have peace, using that peace to maintain your strength during adversity, during times of calamity or chaos. The Hagakure book talks about the selflessness and the giving of that young acolyte as he immediately jumped in to rescue the dead body. And that's what the older monk was speaking to, was making a choice to make a decision that put himself at harm's way, but was the right choice to make. So I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way, but what we're talking about is making a choice that won't always immediately benefit yourself. As I said there, he later became a famous monk, but he had the right mentality and the right attitude. Again, with the war of art, not being a victim, not only taking onus of your own life, but making the choices that will improve your quality of life. So guys, just think about those things. Think about where you can make adjustments that you can have more joy, have more peace, where you can do more good for yourself, your family, and your community. This is Langley, Casual Word Chaser. This has been your Casual Word. It's your quiet time moment. Till next time, guys, stay blessed.